Hey everybody, and welcome to the August 16th edition of the Saving Progress podcast. I, as always, am your host, Northern Lion, here with my esteemed co-host, Jay Smith, OTI.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
You know, they can't answer you yet. They have to...
Well, they can in the chat. Well, I could write that in the chat. I'm in the Steam group right now, in the chat. I do that live throughout the podcast.
But the podcast is not going to be up until later.
Yeah, but I can ask them how they're doing right now. You want me to?
I can hear him typing.
I think he's doing it anyway.
He's a rebel.
I'm doing it, yeah. So, someone said colon, uppercase P, so that he's like sticking his tongue out and stuff.
Yep.
I like it. Anything with colon and P gets my ears peaked.
Alright. Anyways, yeah, they're doing well in the chat.
Well, that's good, because I remember asking them.
I asked them.
And on my left, Michael A.L. Fox.
Jokers to left me, clowns to right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
All right, so now we have to pay about $30,000 to be able to post this podcast.
I'm gonna bring down the internet. I'm gonna copyright on every single YouTube channel somehow.
Hack the planet.
I'm gonna hack it. I'm gonna hack the hackers.
I'm gonna DDoS your Gmail account.
Don't do that. I don't even use it.
I'm already doing it.
Ah, fine.
All right, so that was a weird intro.
They always are, man. I don't know what do you actually expect.
There's been no consistency in any of our introductions, but I kind of like that.
Last time we talked about like seduction tips
and
tickle-a-knees,
boxers and briefs and that kind of nature.
It's weird. I was thinking about that conversation because I went clothes shopping this week, and I actually bought some boxer briefs.
This is actually kind of funny because I thought about this as well because I've been going without the boxers or the briefs lately.
Commando?
I've been going commando.
To work?
That's
not to work. I've been iffy at work, but once I get home and I take a shower, anything after that, just.
Oh yeah, I'm down with that.
Liberating.
I'm down with that.
Do you put like your jeans back on, or do you have like shorts or something?
I have shorts. I've gone out in jeans too, and so if I have any errands to run after work, I do that commando.
Wow.
That's brave, man. I've done it before. Sometimes, in school, I was a pretty forgetful guy. Sometimes I would just go to school without underwear on by accident.
No, come on.
Seriously.
Come on, you get your life in order, man.
I was a mess, man, back in 6th grade. But there were inevitably, when I wore jeans when I went commando, the fly, the zipper would rub the urethra the wrong way.
Ugh.
That sucks.
So that's just me, huh?
True story, though. In grade 2, I forgot my shorts for gym class, and I was like, well, fuck, I don't want to be the loser that wears pants, so I just went in my boxers. They're like these short plaid boxers. They're like the shortest things ever, with like a little iffy button, but nobody noticed, because it was grade 2.
That's pretty great.
I
mean, I regret it now, but at the same time...
You should never regret that.
I showed up to 9th grade gym class. It was my first class on my first day ever of high school, and I just assumed it would be an intro class, he wouldn't actually have us do any running. So I just showed up in jeans and a button-up shirt or something, and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna do 25 laps." I was like, "Oh, come on, man." It wasn't 25 laps of the track. That'd be crazy. It was 25 of the half gym that we had.
Ernestown had a good-sized gym, man.
Yeah, but they always cut it in half because there was the girls on the other side.
Maybe. Yeah, I get. Well,
they had to keep
for your
those
class.
Fertile females separate from the raw sexual power of us in 9th and 10th grade.
Mr. Huddleston always used to use me in his demonstrations because, I have 2 older brothers, and my one brother, Sean, was, pretty athletic and stuff like that, so he just assumed I'd be athletic or whatever. Anyways, he'd always use me for demonstrations and stuff. He'd be like, "Hey, Mike, headbutt this ball," or whatever. And I remember when we were doing, wrestling and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, Mike, get down on the mat, get on all 4. So I was like, okay. And he, did this kind of reach from, he definitely cut my balls pretty hard for a couple seconds there, and everyone saw. It was weird.
Remember what I was saying about these episodes having weird intros? I think we just had an accusation of sexual harassment.
Taxi Cab Confessions, Saving Progress edition.
That's all. Just get super drunk in a cab one time.
I don't think...
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it. We got real drunk in that one Subway though. That one time.
Wait, Subway, the restaurant, or
Montreal?
No, never mind. In Montreal, like an actual Subway.
Oh, I wasn't there.
No, my brother was eating a gallon of ice cream.
He ate. There were dibs, man.
What?
There were dibs, like the frozen ice cream.
Oh,
the discrete units of ice cream.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Anyways, we can move on from that.
All right, Michael A.L. Foggs. Apart from your harrowing tale of possibly being felt up by your gym teacher, do you have any administrative notes?
Nah, not really. Again, it's like mostly back-end stuff, though. Like the software and whatnot we use for the forums and the site, though, on the developer side is getting updated, so that's cool. That's kind of one of the things that's been holding back a lot of the stuff for anybody wondering, like, oh, why haven't things updated? Because it would basically be a huge waste of time, because then you'd have to, like, implement any changes all over again and, like, have to do a ton of work, so... Anyways, that's kind of good news, but no, nothing significant otherwise to note this week. Anyways, sorry to disappoint any people.
I've got something.
What do you got?
I got approved for live streaming on YouTube.
Really?
Oh,
finally, after like a year.
Huh?
Why don't you just use like isn't Twitch TV like pretty big for that?
It's tied into like my machinima contract, so I have. Like, I can stream on Twitch, but it's a revenue thing where it would be better for me to stream on YouTube.
And plus, I guess it keeps all your fan base kind of in one central location.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't have to build up, like, another channel on Twitch. So instead, like, it publishes a live event the same way it publishes a video. So you can have, like, all, whatever, like, 75,000 of my subscribers will see it on their front page.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I did a test stream last night. And it went pretty well, but there was like an audio issue where I couldn't get the desktop recorder that Wirecast works with. Like there's Wirecast for YouTube, which is the platform that they're convincing people to stream with. I couldn't get it to capture like Isaac, so I just stopped because it was getting real hot in my room.
What's the kind of requirements to get approved for that? I haven't looked into that, and it's not something I could do in the immediate future given my upload connection at home. But
right, yeah.
do you need a certain, what are their guidelines for that sort of thing?
I think the first thing first is like with every privilege on YouTube, it involves like copyright strikes and stuff like that. So I think first things first, your channel has to be in good standing for that. And mine was done like machinima, kind of greased the wheels on it, like made the connections to make it happen. So I honestly have no idea. Basically, it was like, I got a message like a year ago from Machinima that was like, hey, if you want to start streaming on YouTube, we're going to send your application in, and here we are.
There you go. Well, that's good. Congratulations, everybody. Round of applause.
Woo! I don't know if I'm going to be streaming that much, at least not right away. Like, I'm busy, man. Got to build up a stock of videos, because heading to Vancouver in 9 days, and then we've got PAX right after that.
Right.
Heck yeah.
So we got a lot of cool stuff coming up.
I remember when you first did like live streaming, like the beginning of your YouTube channel or whatever.
Yeah, man.
And I used to watch it, and you would play Family Feud on the Super Nintendo emulator.
And you could just like, if those are archived, you can watch them and just like watch my soul being sapped out. And after like first episode, I'm like, yeah, this is fun, and then it became sort of a tradition. And by the end, I'm just like, I fucking hate Family Feud on the Super Nintendo.
Well, it sucks because I mean, it was great for us because we get to watch you, but it sucked for you because all the responses were just like the same. So after you played the game like 3 times, you kind of knew everything.
Yeah, there's only like 100 surveys in the entire thing, and it didn't have a very good like. I don't know how you would describe it, but it would be like if. It would be like, what's your favorite snack? And you'd be like, chips. And it would be like, and then you'd be like, what the hell, chips isn't up there? And then the other team would go to steal, and they'd be like, potato chips. And ding, number 1 answer. You're like, oh, come on, Family Feud. The Super Nintendo is not strong enough hardware to run through all those permutations, I guess. So I lost a lot of virtual money in what I consider to be unfair circumstances.
Mm-hmm. That's very unfortunate. I'm very sorry you had to go through that.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's awesome that you'll be able to do live streaming. I'm really jealous about that.
I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know how often it's going to happen. Maybe I'll try to do like a once a week thing. Like I'm already pretty busy with this whole YouTube thing.
Yeah.
And trying to
YouTube thing. I don't believe you.
And trying to maintain some semblance of a normal life as well.
I don't know what you're complaining about, man. YouTube is the easiest thing you could do. I know about a billion teenage boys that think so they can't be wrong.
It's true.
It's easy.
Yeah, so you get just messages they're like, hey, could you just like double the length of your Spelunky videos and release the same number every day? Like, that would be awesome. Like, yeah, that would be awesome.
Can you just throw up 4 videos every hour? Is that cool?
And that's what I mean when I say
4
like,
hour long videos every hour.
I'm trying to like lower expectations about the streaming thing because like it's not possible for me to stream every night. Like to give you a day in the life of Northernlight, I'm not complaining. Like I'm not super busy and this is a great job, but I'll like wake up at 9, start recording 9:30, and I'll record like 9:30 to 3:30 or something. And then I'll spend like the next 3 hours rendering all those videos out. And then I actually have my evening to myself to, you know, put up thumbnails on the videos and email developers and publishers for review copies and stuff like that and interact with the fans however I do that. So for me to stream would basically be like, hey, work 16-hour days like all the time. I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate that you want that. It might happen now and then, but it's not going to be like Northernlion streaming 7 days a week.
When I was your dad, I used to YouTube for 16 hours uphill both ways.
Did you guys hear the record was broken for longest not sleeping, or I don't know what the technical term is. The guy stayed up for 19 days straight.
How?
Why?
I don't know. I haven't read into the story, but apparently I just like caught the news headline. It's like, man breaks world record for going without sleep 19 days straight.
I bet he did it so that anytime he like goes to his office and he's like, hey Sally, how are you today? And she's like, oh, pretty bad. I only got 2 hours of sleep last night. He'll just be like, oh, you did, huh?
That's like what's that one meme, like the Asian father that can never be impressed or whatever. He's like, you stayed up for 19 days straight? Oh, why not 20?
Nah, I was thinking it's more like the Wonka meme, actually.
Oh yeah, I guess that works too.
Yeah, it's okay, Fox. You're an idiot.
I'm not.
You're not. You're a very intelligent man, and I'm sorry for that comment.
Yeah, apology accepted.
Hey Josh.
Cool. Yes?
You been playing any video games this week?
No.
Video games? What are those? Actually, yes, I have played a few. So I got to finish up Thomas Was Alone.
All right, yeah.
Excellent freaking game. The rest of my videos from a Let's Play should be up by the end of the week, I think. So there's like 7 episodes in total. But gosh, I mean, honestly, this is an awesome game. Seriously, one of my favorite indie games probably ever. But the stories, the charm in it is just too obscene, like too just out there to be not considered awesome. So everything about this game is great. There's a kind of a twist thing that goes on in it, so definitely pay attention, or like, you know, watch the videos, or at least, you know, check out the game for yourselves. But, you know, for a game about shapes, this is by far the best game about shapes.
What about Geometry Wars?
Or Geometry Wars is good too. Actually, no, this is better than Geometry Wars, I would say.
What
about...
about...
that's fighting words, man.
I don't know. They're two different things. I think I got more enjoyment out of this, mostly because I don't die nearly as much.
Thomas Was Alone, the best game ever about shapes.
Yeah.
Put it on the box.
That's a bold statement, man.
You know,
I would put it on the box. I like, yeah.
Everything's a shape if you think about it.
My middle finger is a shape pointing at you right now.
Why would you point your middle finger at me?
I don't know.
As I was saying, you get over here.
Yeah.
I can just envision on the box art 69 out of 69. J. Smith OTI. Best game about shapes ever.
I think I would back that statement, yeah.
All right, Thomas Was Alone.
Thomas Was Alone.
Thomas Was Alone is alone at the top of the shapes pyramid when it comes to the shapes genre of video games.
Okay, so another game that I've been playing, it's another indie game. And it's called Pulse. and it is made by Team Pixel Pie, which I guess is out of a Vancouver film school for game design program or something.
Damn straight.
Sounds prestigious.
Yeah, so
I'm not trying to shit on it. I'm just film school for game design.
Yeah, no, so it's Vancouver Film School, and it's in their game design program.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works into film school.
Well,
but sure.
I mean, a lot of schools kind of have a primary focus, like, oh, this is mostly a business school, mostly science school, but of course they all have somewhat generic electives, and video, you know, there's a decent amount of video game based electives coming to schools these days.
Right.
So I don't know, I think that's
Okay, so a little bit about the game, because, you know, I've mentioned who the developer is, but okay, so the game is, you play, it's a first-person game, and you play as a blind girl in kind of like the Amazonian forest. And you see...
How do you know it's the Amazonian forest?
because everything tries to kill you.
No, because you could see shit. I don't know if it's the Amazonian rainforest, but it's some sort of like rainforest or jungle atmosphere. But you see kind of the sounds that go around you. So if something, you know, causes a sound.
Oh, like Daredevil.
But it's kind of like Daredevil, and so like the audio around you, or around that location, kind of like comes up into view, and you can see it. But like it's all like different colors, and it's super interesting. So maybe that's, you know, something cool that happened from this the Vancouver Film School, because I haven't seen this in any kind of like other games before. I think I've heard of it, like them talking about it, or like I've seen comments on videos like, you know, why isn't there like a game like about like blind people or something like that. But
yeah,
this game, it's really neat in how you can get that perspective of, you know, so you're always trying to make these sounds go on around you so you can see the atmosphere or your surroundings. And one of the ways that the game does that is there's these little Furby creatures that are like scattered around every one of the levels, and you pick them up and you just like chuck them, like you just throw them as far as you can. So like they're making noise, and when they hit a wall, you could like see like that particular wall, because, you know, they bounce from their head or whatever, just kind of like puts into view. And so once you collect one, or you can collect plenty of them, and they'll just kind of like follow you around, and you just kind of like throw them at different walls or like off cliffs or anything that you just kind of want. So very interesting kind of game design. I really enjoy it. There's kind of an enemy that's kind of congruent throughout the whole game, and so he's just like this big lumbering creature beast. And if you get too close, he'll just kind of, the screen starts turning red, and you can like see his footsteps that are red as well. And like he just comes at you and he'll eat you, unless if you throw the Furby creatures to sacrifice them, he'll eat those instead. So throughout the whole game, it's sad, because these little creatures are there to help you, but all you do is just murder them every time.
Wouldn't it be great if you like threw one of the Furby creatures and then you just saw like the outline of Slender Man?
Oh my God, I would piss myself like the entire time. I would, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad, because I don't know. Man, I would hate that. Slender, man, I hate playing that game, but I love playing that game. Because like when I'm right after I'm done playing the game, I've already got scared out of my pants at least twice from like the videos. And then, you know, I won't have any kind of need or want to play that game for about like 2 days.
Yeah.
And then after 2 days, I reflect back. I'm like, man, that was pretty cool. Like how like batshit scared I was in that game. Let's play that again. So I load it up and I get scared again. And I won't play it for 2 days until I get that feeling again. It sucks. It's terrible, but oh man, it's super crazy, like in depth. I guess I don't know. Just it messes with my emotional states too much. But very good. But both very good games. If you get a chance, check out Pulse. It's free. And, you know, at the bottom of the screen, it always says, like, you know, for educational purposes only. So, you know, whatever. I guess I can't make money, but I don't make money from YouTube anyway, so I could do a Let's Play of it. I think I'm going to. It should only be, like, 2 episodes long or something.
Just because you don't make money doesn't mean you can do a Let's Play of it. Copyright is copyright, dog.
Yeah, but I'm using it for educational purposes. I'm educating the public.
Yeah, but even if you make money from that, I mean, teachers get paid.
Yeah, but I'm not. Copyright.
Fuck you!
I'm not getting paid, right? So.
No, it's all good. Either way, I don't think anybody would, you know, most indie game devs and stuff are pretty chill.
Maybe I'll send, you know, Team Pixel Pie from the Vancouver Film School and the game design program a nice little email. Hey, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna.
You don't need to do that. They'll probably find your video and be like, "Oh, that's awesome." I remember when Ryan and I were doing the don't play games like a year ago or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Some of the developers would I guess find their games on YouTube and they'd be like, "Hey man, thanks for the review, even though you really hate the game." And
I do actually. I try to reach out to at least all the game developers that I do, at least on Twitter or something, just to let them know that I'm doing their game. And most of the time, or actually every time, they've been really kind of happy about it. So it's good stuff. Yeah. I always reaching out to them, kind of letting them see what I'm doing with their game, so generally goes that pretty well. Okay, anyways. So that's it for new games that I've played, but I also went back and I've started playing Portal 2 co-op with a friend.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mutual friend. It's Mikey. Not you, Mikey.
Beswick?
Mikey Beswick.
Yeah, Mikey B. Yeah, LMB. So we've been playing Portal 2 co-op, and it's such a good time. I played it, back when Portal 2 just came out, it was super fun then. But going back, I always, I was all like, well, once you played co-op, you're not going to have to play it again because you already know the puzzles. Wrong. I can remember some of the puzzles, but I don't remember how to complete the puzzles. So I'll just be like, man, I remember this puzzle being a jerk. And then, well, yeah, it's still a jerk, and I still don't know how to fix it. So, it's obviously been probably over a year since I've last played it, so maybe that probably has something to do with it. But super fun, super great. Have you guys played it yet?
Yeah, I played a couple hours of the co-op.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, a lot of the puzzles in it are just really ingenious, I think. But maybe that's just me. Mikey?
No, I haven't played it yet. I should. But
maybe I'll play with you.
Yeah, I'd be down for that sometime. I'm sure if you're any good, which you're probably not. But
ooh,
oh, I just told you that playing it, I'd be better than you jackass. Actually, what me and LMB did, we started it, but we went through the wrong level, so we ended up beating the game in 25 minutes or so.
Nice.
Because we, instead of going through levels 1,
that's got to be
3,
a world
4,
record.
5, we just started at level 5 because we accidentally got up to that certain stage where we were supposed to. So we got to the end credits. We're like, wait a minute. I remember this game being a lot longer than this. So we go back to the hub and we just realized, oh shit, we didn't start at level 1 at all. We just did the last 2 levels. So that was fun. So we get to go back through the entire game again, I suppose.
Yeah,
but good time. I'm enjoying it again. So I do love, going back and replaying games such as this. So happy to be playing Portal 2 again. And I just kind of randomly played TF2 for a little bit, I guess, with him as well, because he just got this new computer and he wanted to, test out some games and co-op in his headset and everything. So we played a little
scum. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. So we played Portal 2 and we played TF2, and TF2 is actually coming out with their damn thing today.
Yeah, man versus machine.
The co-op mode, man versus machine. So I'm really excited for that. But in regular TF2, I only play Medic, and I think I have about 15 hours of Medic, and maybe 1 or 2 in Demo Man, and then the rest of everything I have less than an hour and 0 for Sniper. I haven't played Sniper at all.
Yeah, I have something similar where I think I have 100 and some hours in TF2.
Jesus.
It's not that much, man.
No, it's not compared to some other stats that I've seen online. I haven't been playing a lot.
So, yeah, I have 85 hours as medic or something, and then 6 as soldier, 5 as pyro, and then the rest are all under an hour or 2.
Yeah, I don't know. You just I found that one class that works for me, and I really don't have much of a need to do anything else, I guess.
And you always need good medics, man. And if you go into a pub game, it's always I want to be soldier, I want to be heavy, I want to be spy.
Right. Everyone's spy, man.
So many spy and sniper, man. All the time.
I hate spies. They murder me all the time.
Pretty annoying, yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah.
But I think that's about it for me for video games. What about you, Northern Line?
It's Michael L. Fox's turn.
I thought we were. I attempt to ask him every freaking week, and I never remember if he did his games or not. So this time I just said, "Screw it, we're just gonna skip him." Oh no, I was wrong again. I can't win.
Okay. First of all, I started playing finally Uncharted. I was able to sit down for a few hours actually and play I started on the first one, Drake's Fortune. So far, I'm, as McDonald's says, I'm loving it. Actually, I don't think McDonald's says that. People say that about McDonald's. Either way, it's a solid game. I mean, I've got more to go, but and I really honestly don't know what a lot of people have said about it. I just know it's kind of highly regarded, the series in general. But to me, it's like the video game version of Indiana Jones. Not as crazy as Indiana Jones 4, but
which was
the Crystal Skull.
Redheaded stepchild. Yeah, the worst thing.
It was
I don't think Indiana Jones is that bad, man. Or Indiana Jones 4.
I mean,
really?
The fridge. A lot of people nitpick it just because they're like, "Oh, come on, you can't. The fridge should survive a nuclear blast." Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I don't care about the fridge or anything. I was just spoilers. I hated the alien shit.
Yeah.
The first ones were all about things that could have existed, or at least there was legends about them existing, but something neat and relevant to Earth. These were aliens from a parallel dimension,
which is totally legit. But
yeah, sure, but I don't think it fit in the Indiana Jones mythos, which is more about religious things that he's in, artifacts that he's looking for, not alien skulls.
I love the first three a lot, but I think this one I think they tried to pack too much in, and the stuff was pretty dense. Again, aliens is not something to take lightly in. Sort of. I'm serious, man.
I can tell you're serious.
Just saying, there was so much going on, and freaking monkeys on that Vines scene. Just I'm sorry, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't do it.
Man, I think people forget Temple of Doom is a bad movie.
Well, yeah,
it's not that good,
but it was good.
It wasn't bad, I would say.
I think it's pretty bad.
I think it was the low point of the series, obviously, but you gotta look at. I don't know. It's still Indiana Jones. It's more Indiana Jones than the fourth one, I think.
I don't necessarily think the fourth one is a great movie. I think it's an okay movie, and I think I don't know what happened, man. I thought people actually liked this movie when it came out. I thought
no,
what? No,
nobody.
No.
Really
but then like a month after it came out, that South Park episode came out where George Lucas just bends Indiana Jones over and fucks him in front of Steven Spielberg. And all of a sudden, I was like, people who haven't even seen the movie are like, yeah, it sucks. I'm like, hey, man, it's kind of fun, actually.
Basically, I think the fourth one was a way of getting Harrison Ford in there before he dies so that they could have a logical continuation point and be like, yeah, Shia. The butthead is... Can I spoil this? Is this?
No.
I mean, it's been so
long.
It's
well past the 2-year mark.
Yeah. Basically, he's his son. Yeah, big deal. So and he's kind of this badass kid, whatever, and takes to be.
And I don't mind Shia. I really don't.
I'm iffy on him. I'm 50-50. Sometimes I don't mind him. Sometimes I hate him.
No, 50-50 is Seth Rogen.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
I have a man crush on
No,
it was actually Chris Farley.
Seth MacFarlane and Chris Farley.
Me too.
I miss Chris Farley.
Chris Farley is Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane is Chris Farley. In McFarland and Farley. Rated PG-13.
Imagine if Family Guy was just voiced all by Chris Farley and Mick Foley.
Mick Foley is Seth MacFarlane.
But then who's Rob Schneider?
Rob Schneider is in, what is it, Animal? Or
The Animal?
Rob Schneider is the Stapler.
I saw The Animal in theaters.
I did too, with my mom.
Because I was 12?
Did I?
Probably.
I know I saw it.
Rob Schneider is the hottest actor in Hollywood for about 12 minutes.
He's a pretty decent looking guy.
Deuce Bigelow.
I didn't say he was good looking. He's the hottest.
Neither did I. I said he's a pretty decent looking guy.
I mean, you would buy into him on HSX if it was.
I would.
If you were 8 or 12. How old were we?
If you want to buy Rob Schneider on the Hollywood Stock Exchange, you want to buy pre Deuce Bigelow because he exploded after that.
He was great in Benchwarmers. That's all I'm gonna say.
You saw Benchwarmers?
like watched it again for like the third
Oh wait,
time.
I liked Bench. No, I didn't like Bench. Oh, I saw Bench once.
It's not
I saw it in
good. Like
theaters.
I just
It's not
have
that
this
good.
thing where I can watch any movie pretty much any number of times.
And you did?
I watched it again. Yeah,
How many times?
I think I've seen it 3 times.
Oh my god.
That's a little
Maybe
too
4.
much.
I'm not sure. I've lost count.
What do you do with your life?
Bench
Dude,
Warmers
I
came
like
out
to
when we were like
put-
16.
I like to put movies. No, it wasn't that long ago. I like to put movies on in the background while I do a lot of other like computer related stuff most of the time, even just for background noise. I'm very wasteful.
And you picked that movie?
Well, it just usually
I would probably just put like Fantasia on a shit ton of times.
I just go to the Netflix and I hit the like new releases or like suggestions. If you like comedy, you'll love Benchwarmers. Okay.
All right, so Uncharted.
Uncharted, yeah, I like it. I mean, there's some. It's a pretty. There's a decent amount of stuff going on. It's got some good action packed. I'm pretty impressed with the controls in the first one. Again, like I haven't done research into the 2 and 3, but even because there's like basically Drake is the world's best rock climber is what I can deduce from this game. Dude is awesome at just getting around via rocks. So, but control wise, it's good. I like the shooting mechanics. Very simple. They don't try and reinvent the wheel, but it's pretty satisfying for the most part. Just overall, it's a solid experience. Like, yeah. So.
Lots of great back of the box quotes there.
Yep.
Pretty impressed with
Best
the
rock
controls.
climber ever.
Who do you think writes those back of the box?
Doesn't reinvent the wheel. Definitely a solid experience.
2 thumbs up.
Nathan Drake is the next thing, bro.
I don't know. I just don't want to talk like again. I am probably like a quarter or maybe a third of the way through the game. So
What is it? Is it a quarter? Is it a third?
I don't know, man. I
How do you even know?
How am I supposed
How
to?
do you even know?
Okay, maybe
You
I'm
know,
100th of the way
Maybe
through the
you're a
game.
16th of the way.
If the game's
Which would
0
be-
seconds long, then it's all the same.
Oh,
It's true.
friggin' hate you guys.
So what have you been playing apart from Uncharted, which came out in like
Is it
1909?
2007?
2000. Was that 2007? Well, it was a pretty good looking game for 2007. What else? Well, I
There's
played a
3
couple
of
games.
them.
Pretty
with
good
you.
looking game for 2007. Michael A.
Actually, it's a pretty damn good looking game for right now. But anyways,
we'd have to
we-
censor
we-
that one.
We played a couple games together. Don't you remember that?
Yeah, it's your turn to answer.
Fine. We played Tower Wars.
Tower Wars. We played Tower Wars.
Tower Wars was it was pretty okay. I don't want to say solid or decent again, but I enjoyed.
What other buzzwords can you use?
I enjoyed playing it with you. I
agree.
We mentioned it in the actual video, but it's kind of like a hybrid between the tower defense game / real-time strategy. You know, it's fairly fast-paced, and definitely I fell behind quite a bit. But so there's, in terms of the actual mechanics of the game, it's pretty easy to get into. But of course, there's a lot you can do to master it, I think. So that's nice. Kind of pulls you in pretty easy, but gives you a reason to keep playing it. So aesthetically, I like the style. It's good looking game.
Yeah, like you said, it's basically like the setup for Tower Wars is basically like, imagine a traditional tower defense game where you're like manning the towers to protect the base, and then like the AI is sending mobs at you. Just double that and make it like a 2-player game where the players are actually choosing which mobs to send at the opponents, while also controlling their own like maze of turrets and towers.
There,
So it's a versus
and there's
game, not
Yes.
a bit of
okay, that's pretty neat.
very basic resource farming. You have gold, which helps with upgrades, but as well, when you send your guys in to do battle and stuff, you have a counter for your battle points, and battle points is the other resource in the game that helps you with certain upgrades as well. So you want both. You have to try and balance them so that obviously I mean, I ran into some situations where I had like 10 times as much gold as I had battle points, so I couldn't really upgrade anything. The gold was kind of just sitting there. So, you know, you gotta kind of manage that stuff and balance it out. But again, it's not hard to wrap your brain around what's going on. It's got a pretty simple upgrading system. Like, you can upgrade your actual units, you can upgrade your buildings, and then they have like another thing that's upgrading your kind of what do they call it? Like,
you could give like buffs to your units, like universal upgrades.
Yeah, I guess like so you get more battle points or something like that across the board, or you know, more health in general, or whatever it may be. So it's simple. That I think they put a decent amount into the game, so it's not really a shallow experience, but at the same time, it's not just overpopulated with trying to make it seem like really complex. Because I think that's the problem with a lot of video games in general. It's just like, or things in life in general. People are like, oh man, this person's not going to be impressed unless you display every single bit of knowledge and do every single thing I can with this. It's like, you know, in university, I remember them saying like, yeah, I want a 1-page report. And people are like, they're just trying to, you know, I'm going to catch their bluff. And they hand in like a 20-page report and like, no, fail. I actually just wanted a 1-page report. Like, it's kind of a tangent, but just saying.
I like completely zoned out. And all I come back to is like Mike Fox talking about a report. Okay.
Keep it simple is like, you know, less is more where more is not wanted or whatever. So just like,
less is more where
words
more
of
is
wisdom.
not wanted. Back of the box quote.
Wait, I think I screwed that up somehow. Some very important famous person said that at some point. Might have been Einstein.
Michael Scott.
Albert Einstein. Anyway, so that was one. And what was the other game we played?
Hero Academy.
Hero Academy, yes.
That was long.
Long ass. Another apology for the people if they actually live through that video, if they don't die of dehydration.
I almost died of dehydration. We had to take a water break halfway through.
You did.
What? How long was it?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
Whoa.
Which is...
Wait, you upload an hour and a half video?
Not yet. It's sitting, waiting to
coming.
be uploaded.
Are you gonna break it into pieces?
No, it's one game.
Oh, fuck.
That was one game. The longest I've ever personally, besides these podcasts dedicated to like a video or whatever, it's like an hour and 14 recently.
I just watched that
for
today.
Spelunky. Yeah, and people.
Well, I had to skip through after you died once, and then I got to like, you know, the ice caves or something again.
And then actually, well, I did have a Mafia one that was like an hour and 20, but that's because I failed a couple times. But either way. That's
long.
Those are usually they're a little more kind of, a lot of things are going on, whereas I think probably 15-20% of Hero Academy was just waiting for like my move to be populated on the server, and then for Ryan to download it so he could see it and react, and then vice versa.
Dude, I think it might be, from my perspective, because I don't see what you're doing when you're planning your moves, it's probably like 80% just waiting.
That's a good point. A lot of waiting. But still, I mean, we kind of tried to reiterate a few times that despite the video, maybe people don't like the video per se, the game is still kind of fun.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hey, I hope you don't like this video, but we're gonna.
It's a great video. I mean, it's like a podcast 2.0 essentially is what Ryan came up with, which is true. I mean, you can just
you're going back to the saving progress roots.
Listen to us talk about things that don't relate at all and play a video game. That's fun.
That's the thing with Hero Academy. Like, I think it's a good game, but I don't think it's a good game on the PC. Like, I think if you played it for a mobile device, you would have way more fun than if you were actually sitting down with it open on your PC. And there's a lot of reasons for that. The main one is that it can take an hour for people to make their moves, and unless you leave the Hero Academy client open the entire time while you're doing something else, you won't get notifications unless you have it up. So if you have like a phone or something, you can just play Hero Academy, or a tablet, whatever this is played on. You can just do your move, I don't know, go do some work or something, play a different game, and then when you have a break from that, check your phone and be like, oh, there's a new move. I can just do that simultaneously while I'm doing whatever else I'm doing. Whereas on the PC, it's like, this game's open, I'm playing it, and I spend most of my time waiting. So I think Hero Academy is good, but it is not necessarily a good fit for the PC. And I mean, with you and me playing, we were like on each other's case to actually move as fast as possible. When you're playing against strangers, like if a stranger starts to lose, I've had so many situations where they're just like, fuck it, maybe I'll move in 36 hours. All right, cool.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much guaranteed that I would think, like, I don't know the numbers, but a vast majority of the people that are playing it are already playing it on their iPhone or whatever, doing exactly what you said, kind of just like, oh, I gotta go take a poop. All right, I'll check my iPhone. Oh, somebody moved, and they make their move, and then they're done pooping, and then they go run a marathon or something like that, and then come back the next day.
Day in the life.
Day in the life of somebody who plays Hero Academy. So, yeah, I don't know. I think they just pushed it to the PC or whatever because they could. Maybe they're trying to grab a few extra people, or maybe it's just like, oh yeah, this is a cross-browser game, which cross-browser game or cross-platform gaming, sorry.
Yeah, because you can play it on the PC against mobile players.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's kind of cool technically, but not for this specific game because it is built for, mobile games, like people with, you got 5 minutes on the bus or whatever it is, and that's pretty much it. So
in between your draw with friends rounds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, don't get mad at the game if you're playing it on PC and you want to play for an hour straight, because that's not likely to happen unless you're playing with somebody else who has it on the PC and you're like Skyping or something. So
there were times when I was playing like 6 or 7 games at the same time, and I was still spending most of my time waiting.
Yep. That's the way it goes, man.
Anyway, yeah, that was Hero Academy. Look for that video to come up when I'm on vacation, so I don't have to read all the angry comments.
Oh God, don't worry, I'll be there. I'll try and keep the peace. I'll get beaten up, but no. So those are the 3 main ones. Haven't really gotten a chance to play anymore. MDK 2 HD, but I'm gonna
Murder, Death, Kill.
Murder, Death, Kill. I actually checked the Wikipedia, and they don't explicitly say that what it means in the game.
Someone on the forum said it was something completely different.
Yeah, someone on the forum said it was Max Dr. Kurt.
Yeah, that's one of the other interpretations. There's like 3 or 4 different things that people think it means in the game. But Murder, Death, Kill is one. I think that's the most commonly thought out one. I think it sounds the coolest personally, but either way, it's if you like older games, it's cool. And I mean, they did a fresh remake of it, so hey, maybe check it out. Get back to your roots. It's a good game. Plus, it's like a guy in a tight suit, and you think it's a chick, and you convince yourself it's a chick just so you can jerk off to the hot ass. It's like when people went to see Catwoman, the movie. Wait, was it Catwoman with Halle Berry?
Yes.
Her stunt man was a man, right? So like people are like jerking off to like this hot ass, and then like later they're like, that was a dude stunt man, and everybody's just like, oh God. By the way, I haven't seen the movie. So
what? No. All right.
Just saying. It's a similar situation with MDK. You're like, oh shit, that's a hot ass, but it's actually a guy. Doesn't make sense, man.
Thanks.
MDK 2 HD, don't jerk off to it if you think it's a girl, because it's not.
Well, I mean, you can jerk off to it if you think it's a guy. There's nothing wrong with it. Just don't confuse it for a girl, because it's not.
MDK HD 2, don't confuse it for a girl.
Exactly.
Back of the box.
Back of the box
Throw
quote.
it on there.
This game is good to jerk off to.
Just trying to keep people informed, man.
Well, that was on the back of the box for Lollipop Chainsaw.
I'm sure it was. Dude, I saw that chick at PAX before she got kicked out.
Oh, yeah.
For being a booth babe.
Sarah Jean Underwood, or whatever her name is.
I had Underwood, that's for sure. But
Underwood?
she was... yeah, you get it? Like...
What?
You know. Anyways. Yeah, she was pretty good looking. I enjoyed her company.
Wait,
put it on the back of her shirt. Pretty good looking.
Jay Smith says, I enjoyed her company from afar. But that's okay. Anyways. I didn't even play that game. Did it do well?
I don't think so.
Good.
Didn't you? Oh, you tried to get a copy of it. That's right. You were talking about you got shut down because you're not good enough.
Who made that again? Is that Capcom?
Probably.
No.
Warner Brothers. All right, yeah. I'm calling you out, Warner Brothers.
Scumbag.
Where's my review copy of Lollipop Chainsaw?
Probably in the garbage, in the dumpster.
They probably like wrote your name on it, and then they threw it in the garbage, and then they're all like, "Yeah."
They made all the unsold games into clothes and sent them to needy children across the world.
Oh, what are you wearing, Janie? Recycled Blu-ray discs. The hottest fabric for this season. It's really sharp, though. I'm pretty sure I'm bleeding.
It probably would be pretty hot.
It would be hot for everyone watching
sunlight.
it, just like constant reflection.
Damn it, Sarah, get the hell out of the sun. You're blinding everyone.
You think they could just like they could make like a suit of meat and hang it off of her, and then she could just stand in the sun and make hot dogs for everybody?
Is this Lady Gaga we're talking about?
But it's got to be like a carousel of meat around her.
What do you mean a carousel? Like it's mobilized? Like
It doesn't have to be, but I mean,
it should be. That'd be impressive.
Might be good, yeah, like a rotisserie.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. She got like a outer ring of heat lamps, and then the inner ring is meat, and it just like rotates, and it cooks, and then all the she's got like a ring, a tray underneath, so all the drippings drip into it, and then they funnel into a bottle with a straw, so then you can drink the drippings.
I think you might have taken that a little too far. We were talking about something totally reasonable, realistic, and you took it too far.
Hey, man.
You can put that in the back of his shirt.
So that's
Drink every time we mention on the back of anything.
That's what you played this week?
Yeah, that's the majority of it. Like again, I don't like to spread myself out too thinly, so most of my time went to Uncharted. I want to get through that, get through the series. I don't want to rush through it, but
good, man.
at the same
You
time,
definitely want to make sure you're on the cutting edge.
I gotta be able to talk about these things around the water cooler at work with all the 70-year-old people I work with.
Oh, they were teenagers when Uncharted came out.
You got me.
Yeah, man, you work with old people.
I do. They're pretty old,
Yeah.
some of them actually. Like one was born in 1942.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
It's
World War II.
1492.
It's the same thing.
No,
It's
it's
actually
not.
like 450 years difference.
I doubt it. It's probably close to
It's
the
math,
69.
man. It's a universal truth.
Right. Yeah, it don't matter.
I was gonna say though, before we pass the torch to Mr. Ryan, one game that I've been kind of trying to keep an eye on for a little while. I don't know if you guys have seen any videos on it. A few were posted on YouTube, on Reddit, but you guys seen this game Chroma?
No, Chrome Hounds?
Chroma.
But not Chroma. Nope.
No, neither of you.
Well, I'm not the world's most sensitive guy, but when she holds up a color and it looks like Chroma.
La 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 Lola.
Wait, that's what you were... Oh, man. I didn't even... Okay.
Cherry Cola.
Chroma.
M.A. Chroma. Chroma.
It's pretty good.
That is actually good. But no, I don't know. You guys should check out. It's an interesting game. His website is iamclaw.com. I'm not exactly sure.
Chroma, free online puzzle games from addictinggames.com. Awesome.
It's under development, but it's a cool mechanic where you have this guy, which people say has an unfortunate resemblance to Fez.
Ah.
Okay.
But again, it's under development, so you could change it. But basically, the mechanic is you can switch back and forth between this kind of almost like a light bulb or into like your shadow self. So when you're a light bulb, you cast these shadows, and then to kind of freeze the shadows, you switch to your shadow self, and that actually allows the shadows will stay in place and you can climb them. So it's kind of like a puzzle game where you have to move your character around to manipulate the shadows so that you form ramps and stuff like that, so you can get to different areas of the game. And basically, like, each level has a start point and you have to get to the end point. So I think it's a kind of interesting mechanic. Again, it's Chroma. You should be able to find it on YouTube, and I'm eagerly awaiting its release. I don't know when the heck it's coming out, but just thought I'd mention that. You guys should check it out. It's cool.
All right,
It's cool.
yeah, I'll do
Maybe
that.
I'll
Cool
do
indie
that.
game.
Just, link me to it at some point, and I'll play it.
I guess you can't play it yet though, so suck it. But
I'll play it when it comes out.
me too, man. Maybe we could do some stuff. It's single player though,
You want to just we'll hang out and I'll play it and you can not play it.
or we could both play it and talk about it. Be like, oh man, did you see that shadow? Oh,
It was 100% Shadow of the Year all years.
good stuff. Anyway, so that's enough. I didn't get paid for that promotion. I just think it's a genuinely interesting concept, and I hope it pans out. And so, Ryan, what have you?
Yo, Ryan.
Hello, yes, I'm still here.
What have
sure?
you been playing this last week of 7 days?
I don't know if you guys have noticed, a lot of shit's come out, and I've played some of it.
Poop.
Is it
So,
all shit?
let's talk about AAA stuff.
Chips.
Played a lot of Sleeping
yes.
Dogs.
Awesome.
And-
How is it? Let me know.
I think that game is
All you
pretty good.
reviews. Yes.
Is it-
I already posted my Let's Look at, but basically, it is. You could, if you don't know the saga behind it, basically, this started as like a true crime game that Activision was making, or Activision was funding anyway. And then Activision did some market research and was like, this game is never going to be like a better selling game than Grand Theft Auto, so we're just going to shop the product around. And they eventually sold the game to Square Enix. Square Enix didn't buy the true crime franchise, just this individual game. Renamed it Sleeping Dogs, so now it's out, so you can probably imagine it's basically just like True Crime Hong Kong, or like Grand Theft Auto Hong Kong. But
Nice.
the principal strength of the game is that it has like a really kind of, I'm not going to necessarily say nuanced, but it is a very fluid hand-to-hand like martial arts combat style that it really focuses on, whereas in most open world action games, if you played like Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row, if
What's
you have
that?
like a 12-inch dildo or a baseball bat or something and you're beating the shit out of people with it, usually you look kind of clumsy and you're just mashing X. Whereas in Sleeping Dogs, you do like more fluid kind of, I'm not going to say kung fu, but various martial arts maneuvers, and it looks fairly natural. Sometimes the animations can get a little bit janky, but it makes the hand-to-hand combat a lot more fun than in pretty much any other open world game I've ever played. And there's a little bit of gunplay as well. I would say maybe like 10%, at least I've played like 5 hours, like 10% gunplay, like 90% hand-to-hand or melee weapons.
Right.
And yeah, I think it's totally fine.
I know.
Totally fine.
Back of the box, right? It's
No, I watched a bit of your Let's Play or Let's Look at today while I was getting ready for work, because that's apparently a thing that
Were
I do.
you not putting on your boxer briefs? Just putting on your
I put them on for work, man. It's just
that's what you
I had to
say.
put those on because I slept in the nude. So, anyways,
You ever put your boxer?
I watched it. It looked good. I liked the hand-to-hand combat, and I thought that was kind of like it had more personality, I feel, than just kind of like running around, and with like how you said it has like the fluid animations that I don't know, just kind of popped to me, I suppose, and looked good.
yeah.
I've
Pop,
been
pop.
waiting to do the Matrix reference for this episode. Are you ready, Ryan?
Okay.
I know jujitsu.
It's kung fu, man.
You're supposed to be Morpheus and say, "Show me," and then we have a sweet battle in the.
Well, you're supposed to
in the dojo.
use the right. It's I know kung fu, not I
No.
know jujitsu.
Does he say I know kung fu?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kung fu.
definitely.
100% kung.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
69.
I know
69.
kung fu.
Show me.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, and then they go in the training simulator.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so Sleeping Dogs pretty cool. I've been playing some Persona 4 Arena as well.
You getting ready for Persona 5?
JRPG. Why is it an arena?
Because it's
fighting game.
arena. It's an arena.
Okay.
So
People keep. All
I
right.
thought it was.
Persona-
I thought you go to a school in that game or something.
Persona, it's a spin-off.
Come on, man.
In Persona, the game franchise, Persona the game, you go to school. It's a JRPG. I've never played any of them. I know The fan base of Persona
school?
is very passionate about Persona. I tweeted that I was playing Persona 4 Arena, but I've never played Persona 4 or any of the Persona games, and immediately got like 50 tweets that were like, you gotta play Persona. And I was like, guys, I don't really have the time to play Persona. They're like, you gotta make the fucking time, okay? You better play Persona.
Defy the laws of physics and science and just make more hours.
And someone was like, yeah, dude, I realize that your time to play games for pleasure is limited, so why don't you just let's play Persona 4? And I was like, okay, well, that's like quadruple the work of just playing the game. So that's one reason why I won't do that.
Not quadruple, is it?
I'm not sure if I would like it, and I know nothing about it. So, anyway, so I know nothing about Persona, so that's why I bought Persona 4 Arena the other day for the Xbox 360. That game is pretty fun, actually.
Good.
Are you sure?
So, how fun? On a scale of 1 to 10.
69. I've been getting into fighting games more recently. I've been playing a lot of Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition on the PC. So, I'm getting a little bit more into that side of things because I've never really been into fighting games, and I always get stomped when I play them. So I was like, yeah, let's check this out. Let's get in on the ground floor. And Persona 4 Arena is definitely very... I hesitate to say this because a lot of people who are very good at the game are probably going to laugh at me, but it's very, new player friendly. There's something in the game called the auto combo, where basically... Yeah. Normally, if you go online in a fighting game and you're a total scrub, someone's just going to, punch you once, let's say it's Street Fighter or something, someone's going to punch you once, and then they're just going to chain that into, a combo that takes off half of your life meter. And since you don't know how to do that, you're basically fucked in case you get a chance to attack them. Well, the way Persona 4 Arena equalizes things is every player, or every character has a combo that the only input for it is just X, 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 over and over and over. So if you just run up to someone and just mash X, you can do a 10-hit combo that will do a lot of damage to them. But the way they balance it is that the auto combo is a pattern, so it's pretty easy to block if you've been playing the game for a long time. And it doesn't do as much damage as some other combos that you can do once you actually learn them. But what that means is that I can go online, despite not knowing anything about Persona or anything about BlazBlue or Guilty Gear, which is basically the vein that this game has kind of taken up from. And I can at least...
Is it the same developers? I'm sorry.
I believe so, yeah. It's the same developers as BlazBlue, for sure. It's Arc Systems something. I'm not sure if they made Guilty Gear, but I'm pretty sure it was they made Guilty Gear, then they made BlazBlue, then now they're making Persona 4 Arena.
I bought Guilty Gear because one of our mutual friends, Shizay, had it. Motherfucker.
It's pretty good,
didn't tell me he was number 2 in the world when, I got it. And so I signed online. I see that he's, super high in the rankings. I'm like, oh, shit, what the hell did I get myself into? He beats me, he wipes the floor with me with every character ever. And I'm just sitting here derp, 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 just completely dying. And I brought the game over, this was in high school, I think, and I brought the game over to my friend Brad's house, and we played it, and he proceeded to wipe the floor with me too. He's never even played it either. It was just I am so bad at fighting games, evidently, and just, ooh.
You see, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a base of fighting game knowledge. Mm-hmm. So that, it's the same thing when I started playing Dota. I'd never really gotten invested in a strategy game. So I had to spend, a lot of time just learning the fundamentals. But now that I've spent some time in Street Fighter 4, I kind of have some fighting game IQ built up, so I kind of understand a little bit. I mean, obviously the games are different, but I understand, when to utilize, mix-ups, which is when you, do an attack that puts you behind an opponent so they have to change direction. Or maybe that's a crossover. Whatever, who cares? Yeah, but so what you said, that just getting dominated by people, that happens in Persona 4 Arena, but it happens less than it does in other fighting games because of this auto combo. So when I first got started and I didn't know about the auto combo, I was just getting fucked. I had a 13% win rate or something. But once I discovered the auto combo, I'm back in the 40s or something, which for me is good for a fighting game online.
That's, it's hard to... It's hard for me to get into fighting games just because all there is... I'm not really that competitive of a gamer. And so winning is not something that drives me to play a game. And so when you're only faced with winning or losing, it's just kind of, whatever. So, I don't essentially care if I win or lose. It's all about, me having fun. But when the rounds are so short and I'm just getting, my ass kicked over and over again because of it. It's hard for me to get in them so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I have the utmost respect for anyone who is able to get into those games and kick my ass or anyone else's ass. So, I love, I can watch fighting games and I can really get into it that in like that kind of sense, and I can cheer people on, and I can fully respect people that like come down to like the wire matches and stuff. But for me, fighting games just they're not exactly my cup of tea, I would say. But super awesome for that community though.
They need to make a real steel fighting game for Kinect.
Man, keep talking like that, someone at Microsoft's going to give you a job.
I know, right? First of all, it fits in well with like every movie that can possibly have a video game as a video game. I mean, Real Steel would work well with Kinect because, I mean, a big portion of the movie is this Hugh Jackman, like, phantom boxing connected to this.
I had to Google Real Steel. They have a game. Oh, it's not on Kinect maybe, but they have a game out for it.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. It's got robots. I mean,
it's basically what's that game that
Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Yeah, that's it. Yep. It's Rock'em Sock'em.
That's basically what the movie is like inspired on. I'm pretty sure
that movie came out when I was in Korea, but you know what they called it?
Not what we call it.
True Steel.
Real Steel.
Wow.
Look it up.
That's bad.
Wait. Oh, never mind.
It's real, man.
I was gonna say something. I'll tell you guys later.
Is it what? Oh.
No, it's nothing. It's stupid.
It probably
something dumb.
Yeah.
So the other thing with Persona 4 Arena that makes it kind of new player friendly, and I'm not saying there's not a high skill ceiling here. I just have no idea if there's a high skill ceiling. The thing that makes it cool is when you get below 30% health, you actually enter like a super state, basically, where you do more damage and you get more special meter that you can use to do more high damage attacks. So it's not like, again, I'll draw parallels to Street Fighter because that's the only other like competitive online fighter I really know. But in Street Fighter, if I get down to like 10% health and my opponent is at 75% health, I know I'm fucked. Like all he has to do is one sweep or something and I'm done. Whereas in Persona 4 Arena, if I get super low, maybe I can get like a lucky auto combo off that'll take off like 25% of their meter, and then every player also has an instant KO move that you can use in certain situations, so maybe I can get lucky and get that instant KO off. And, so it's never really over until you're actually dead. So I've been having a lot of fun with Persona 4 Arena so far. I probably played about 50 matches online. Games are pretty fast-paced. And I should point out as well, there's a huge story mode in this for a fighting game. Like, this is not just your standard fighting game where it's like, I gotta fight Ken in America, then go to China and fight Chun-Li. Like, there's actually, like, when I went into the story mode, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. There was, like, 20 minutes of text and, like, story development before I actually got involved with the first fight. And for someone who doesn't know anything about Persona, I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Just, take all your friends, walk inside that TV. What's up with that, like, mechanical bear? Oh, it's, like, a false mechanical bear? I don't know. So, it was really confusing for me.
He pretends to be a bear. He thinks about
it's like a bear, but it's like a stuffed animal, and there's a zipper around its head, and there might be a man living inside of it. I don't know. I haven't played Persona. It's very unusual for someone who has never played Persona, but I think it's like a canonical sequel to the last game, so if you're into the Persona story, and I know a lot of people are, then this isn't like a 1 hour long fighting game story mode. Apparently, this is like 3 to 4 hours per character of actual like real story, which is pretty goddamn crazy. But I appreciate it just for its engine and the fact that it's fast paced fun, and I'm not totally getting shit on online, even if I am just like a spamming piece of garbage using the auto combo at every opportunity.
How are you in learning all the new combos and everything for the different games? Is that something that you pick up like really quickly, or is it something that you had to learn and you have to work towards for every character?
When I started, Street Fighter's a little bit different because that was like the first one I started on, and for that took a long time to just like I was not used to hitting quarter circles all the time and like half circles and stuff like that. But in Street Fighter, there's basically like character archetypes. Like there's characters that have like fireballs, dragon punches, and spinning kicks. There's characters that have charge moves where you like hold back, and then 2 seconds later push forward along with a punch or a kick button. And so you got to learn like a few different archetypes of characters, and then you can pretty much play, at least with a certain degree of competence, a lot of the characters in the game. Whereas for Persona 4 Arena, like once you master quarter circles, you're going to be in your wheelhouse with a lot of fighting games, because fighting games typically use quarter circles and charge moves for their inputs. Like, I've been playing a little bit of Skullgirls, Persona 4 Arena, Street Fighter Arcade Edition. All of those use quarter circles, like, heavily. So it's not so bad once you actually build a base for it. But it takes a while to be able to, like, reliably do that Hadouken motion. Or reliably do, like, the charge moves. But once you get that, and I mean,
Skull?
Persona 4 is actually a little bit easier on it. Like, the instant KO moves are just always 3 taps down and then Y and B. So, like, that's not a difficult combo to enter at all.
Right. Skullgirls, that's the one where it's kind of like all hand-drawn, they're all chicks.
Yeah.
And they have, like, the kind of like, there's, like, one girl that's, like, a 50s kind of, like, cartoon.
Yeah, yes, you're correct.
I enjoyed that game.
You got it?
And I played it because one of my friends said he was really good. And I was really drunk, and I was like, I can beat you. And then I proceeded to just whip the floor with this dude, like just completely, just every time that I would just be like, go up against like him and like any others, like if it's like fighting game friends, and I just won. I don't get it, but I guess that was one game that I was good at. It was strange.
But yeah, Skullgirls got a lot of quarter circles in it too.
Oh yeah, all the quarter circles in the world.
Yeah.
Just line them up.
Boobs.
Lots of boobs in Skullgirls. Yep.
Yeah, it was fun. I guess I enjoyed that.
Skullgirls is cool. Out of the 3 fighting games I'm currently sort of playing, I have the least amount of time in Skullgirls, I think. But yeah, Skullgirls is cool too. Eventually coming to the PC.
Oh, cool. I'll beat you in it.
All right.
Oh.
It's fighting words. It's a spa episode, man. We can set up a lobby.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so both Persona 4 Arena, Sleeping Dogs get thumbs up from me. I think if you're interested in those games, feel free to go pick them up. You're not going to be disappointed. Darksiders 2 came out this week, but I didn't play it.
Apparently it's people.
Oh, you got it?
Good reviews.
No, I don't have it.
Okay.
I heard it's pretty good though.
I hope so.
That's
Well, I mean, I didn't play the first, but the first looked interesting, so I hope this one does really well, and the first one goes like real cheap, and I'll pick that up.
it's got an 80.
And when the third one comes out, I'll just get the
85 on
Genius.
Metacritic so far. 85 is a good score. User score is 9.2, so kind of both
It's
sides.
really good, yeah.
people. Fox is talking right now. I didn't realize.
Plus, I mean, if it does
It
well,
has 85. That's
if
good.
it does
I
well,
mean,
maybe
it's only been
THQ won't go bankrupt.
That would be good.
That's. I bet they're probably like praying right now. Probably praying.
So apart from those 2 games I did play and the one I didn't play, I played Dust: An Elysian Tale.
How is Dust and Elysian Tale?
Combat's fun.
We talked about it a bit.
Combat's really fun actually. The writing and the story get like really like melodramatic in kind of like a bad anime sort of way sometimes. Where everything is like really heavy-handed. Like you kill this boss character, and then he goes through like this, like, "Oh, no, Dust, you are the monsters. You've been killing my family." And then he's like, "Okay, time to die, ashes to ashes." And then your character, who's named Dust, is like, "Dust to dust." And I'm like, okay, some like 12-year-old kid somewhere is like jizzing his pants, and he hears like, "Oh, this is the fucking most badass line ever. That's the title of the game."
That's like that's what the writers of CSI Miami want for every one of their episodes. Ashes, dust to dust, and he puts on the shades. Yeah!
$10 says they actually built the game around that. Somebody's like, what's our inspiration for this game?
But yeah, it's good. It's like a 2D Metroidvania sort of style game. Heavy focus, not on exploration like La Mulana is. It's more on just like straight up combat. So you might consider it like... a lot of people are saying it's very similar to a game called Muramasa on the Wii. But I didn't play that because I haven't touched my Wii since like 2008.
Never heard of it.
Shut up,
No one
shut
has.
up.
It doesn't work.
And don't remember. There was another game that people were saying it looks like, but anyway, it's a Metroidvania, combat-focused Metroidvania. Combat's cool. It's all about building up, like a 2D Devil May Cry almost. You've got like all these different combos and maneuvers you can try to do, and you try to build up like the highest combo you can because that gives you the most experience you can get. Use your experience points to upgrade your health, your attack, and stuff like that. I dig the combat style of the game. Everyone's saying the game looks beautiful, so I'm not going to argue with that, even though I kind of disagree. For whatever reason, like graphically, the game just doesn't appeal to me that much. And I'm not really digging the story that much either, but all in all, it's a good game. Some of the trappings surrounding the game don't necessarily interest me that much. And it's also catching a lot of shit for being, like, possibly furry-philic.
Furry-philic.
Like, you're playing an anthropomorphic squirrel.
Yeah,
and there's a love interest who is an anthropomorphic squirrel.
So you just squirrel people.
I mean, there's other animals. Like, I don't know if everyone's a squirrel because there's a lot of variety in the builds of people. They kind of look like rabbits to me.
You know what game I think was kind of anthropomorphic? I think kind of like that was Odin Sphere for the PS2. I never got to play it, but I always seemed interested in it.
Fox, did you play it?
Reason.
No, but I was just gonna say a lot of people accuse me or ask me if I'm a furry on my channel, and like for the first while, I was like, "What are these people talking about? What is a furry?" Like, I had no idea that this phenomenon existed. I'm not a furry, by the way. If anybody is, maybe it's because like I don't know. Fox man.
I just looked up Odin Sphere. There's no weird furry things. Oh wait, no, there is. There's some weird rabbit guy. So maybe it kind of is.
And I'm not trying to.
I'm not down in furries. I mean,
I'm not either. Whatever. I legitimately, I was like, what is a furry? Like, I didn't know.
It's funny because I knew what furries are, and as you know, you're Northern Lion and you're Michael A.L. Fox. So I was like, there's got to be some kind of, I mean, not saying for you, but there might be some misconstrusions out there.
Nice word. I like that.
So yeah, I had a good chuckle to myself, just thinking about that every once in a while.
I mean, okay, again, not making fun of furries at all. Everyone, well, not everyone maybe, but there's a lot of people out there who have unusual fetishes and whatever. Like, your fetish is personal; it's your own thing. Find someone who shares it with you. That's beautiful. Love can blossom in that garden of weirdness.
Love is finding somebody you can be weird with and like accepting each other. Like, that's what love is. People don't realize that shit.
That's a beautiful quote, man. Love is finding someone you can be weird with.
Exactly.
It kind of is.
But at the same time, there's like, as we speak, there's this like fight in the comments for the Dust video I put up of like pro furries versus anti furries. And I'm like, okay, don't be dicks, don't criticize other people on their fetishes, don't judge them before you know them. But at the same time, if you're a furry, I should lighten up a little bit and have a sense of humor about the fact that to a lot of people this is sort of a comical fetish. Yeah. Am I alone in this? I mean,
no. It's fully under, and I don't want this. This shouldn't be a deep conversation or anything for us because we're outside looking in.
Right.
So we, like a lot of people, we don't understand. We understand like the basic concept of furries, but we don't understand what it's like to be one because we aren't. So essentially, what I'm just trying to say is, you guys can do whatever you want. It's just that people don't understand because they can't get into that mindset. So you have to have some sort of sense of humor to like what it is that you're into, because a lot of people's just natural reaction is to make fun of it. So if you can laugh along with them, even though they might be laughing at you, which kind of sucks, and I feel bad.
You can't laugh at yourself. You're not going to have a good time on this planet.
Exactly.
Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, like, people, I'm bald, people crack bald jokes at me sometimes. I don't give what the fuck, man? Lots of people are bald. What's your problem? Like, you just laugh at it. I'm not necessarily saying, being a furry is a flaw, but it's a quirky personality trait, and you just gotta own it, man. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
I just, like,
nobody.
Yeah, I mean, what somebody does in the privacy of their home, like, I don't see why politics and all that shit should be so concerned, and just, like, people in general. It's like, I mean, unless they're building bombs or something, I don't care. Well, even if they are building bombs and they don't plan on using them, they just want to know how to build a bomb, whatever. Just don't blow me up. But, like, people focus too much in life on just, like, hating on shit. It's like, okay, that person's a furry. If it makes them happy, that's cool. I'm going to go play some video games and not even think about it because I would rather spend my time thinking about things I'd like than people that I do things that I don't like. Like, to me, it just seems illogical to focus so much on things that don't actually matter to you personally. As long as, like, somebody's not, like, rubbing their furry nutsack on your forehead. Like, it's not a concern.
Dude, what's your problem with furry nutsacks?
I used to live in Pittsburgh, and once a year there is a big furry convention called, like, Anthrocon. And it's, like, what was what I kind of took to understand was like the mecca of like furries, and like everyone just kind of like went there. So like for like the weekend, you know, all the radio stations would just kind of like poke fun and like laugh at it and everything. And I was like, well, yeah, and I would laugh along with them because, you know, because no one really understands, or, you know, we're out on the outside looking in again, just so. I don't know. You guys enjoy whatever you enjoy.
Poutine.
We're just gonna sit here and play video games. How about that?
Poutine, man.
Yeah, so that's Dust.
So that's
that game's all right. I feel like if you're not as critical as me, then you might be able to get over the story and enjoy the last. And a lot of people have been posting in the comments like, yo, fuck you, man, this story is awesome. So if you're one of those people, I'm not passing judgment. Enjoy Dust. Combat's good, and so if you can enjoy the story, more power to you. I probably won't be finishing it, but it's definitely, one of the better Xbox Live Arcade games to come out recently, for sure.
Awesome.
Let's quickly go over, because I got a very little bit more. You and I played Hero Academy and Tower Wars. That was fun. One thing I wanted to point out about Tower Wars, for two things actually. We said it was like, I said it was like $15 to $20. It's actually $10. So,
oh, nice. That's a
better.
good. That's
but I mean, that video
price.
won't go up for a couple days probably. And I played Iron Brigade, which is finally out on the PC.
Oh yeah, I saw you tweeting about that. I need to download that still because we briefly mentioned it last podcast, I think.
Yeah. So Iron Brigade is like, I think what we mentioned on the last podcast is that it's been out on the Xbox for like a year now. I think it came out last summer. And it is a downloadable like mech assault plus tower defense game basically. So you are in control of this mech. You can also place towers and you're trying to, defend bases from onslaughts of robotic enemies. Game's pretty cool. Tons of customizability. Very much tongue planted firmly in cheek in all the writing and the narrative and, the setting and a lot of the upgrades that you can get and stuff like that. Like right now, there's saluting in the game, and it's like 4-player co-op if you want, but you can also play single player. Oh, that's the other thing I want to say about Tower Wars is it's only multiplayer apart from the tutorial and the classic tower defense mode. So if you want to actually war some towers, you gotta have some friends or play matchmaking. But in any case, so like you start on like the bridge of the ship, and you're just this avatar dude who can walk around and interact with the other people that you're playing with. And like right trigger is one salute and left trigger is the other salute. So, like, right trigger causes my guy to do, like, a normal military salute, and left trigger causes him to, like, do the guns with his one hand. And then I ran across this other guy who does, like, a salute, but instead of doing the guns, he makes, like, a 0 with his fingers. If you're saying, like, hey, it's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the way that...
like your pointer finger and your thumb, and then your other 3 fingers, like, wait.
That's okay.
Right, yes, that's okay.
Yeah.
And then, so we started saluting each other like crazy because you can do it really fast. And then he stuck his like okay motion out, and then I stuck my gun finger out, and then I moved my finger into his okay circle.
Oh, you're dirty.
So it looked like we were doing the intercourse motion.
Right into his furry hole.
So that's Iron Brigade.
Sorry.
It's good. There's a lot of customizability. $15. I think it's $15. It's $12 right now though.
And it's made by Double Fine.
It is Double Fine.
When I heard that, to me, like, Double Fine is a pretty good track record. I really like their games, so like that. Because when I first heard the concept of the game, it's like, meh. But then when I heard that Double Fine made it, I was like, oh, yeah, that kind of, they made Stacking, which is a game I did some LPing of, which is a, shameless plug. But that's an interesting, unique kind of good game, so... I'm kind of interested to see their take on Tower Wars anyways. Or not Tower Wars, the tower defense kind of genre.
Easiest way to describe Iron Brigade, I think, is like Orcs Must Die 2, but instead of being a dude, you're like a dude in a mech.
I love Mech Assault. It's so good.
I like mechs, and I like Orcs Must Die too.
You'll probably like Iron Brigade. The one thing I will say, and Fox, you're not going to like this, but in the 4-player game I played, I've only played one multiplayer game, so take this with a grain of salt, but in the 4-player game I played, it was super laggy.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Really laggy. And I mean, it seemed like most of the time, it would be like, whenever it got really laggy, it would pop up this message on the screen that's like, waiting for player 3. I forget his name now. So it might just be that dude had the worst connection of all time, but you... sort of also have the worst connection.
Well, couldn't it be like Because I remember when we all used to play Halo 2 and stuff like that, you know, if somebody was the host, and you could tell, like, if they had a shitty connection, the whole game was pretty shitty. So I'm hoping maybe it won't be so bad if, like, I'm not the host or something. Maybe
yeah, possibly. You got a good point, because I did join this dude's game.
Yeah, so.
Not the
well,
other
you know,
way.
either way, I'm going to give it a go, because I want to support Double Fine. And, again, they got the cave coming out next year, which I'm really pumped for.
Can you plant a tree in it and then come back in 20 years and watch it blossom?
I'll plant my seed in it.
I'll dip my balls on it.
No.
Oh, don't do that.
That's from the state.
No, it's not. It's not from the state.
All right.
So what, have you been playing anything else other than those, like, 10,000 games you've already talked about? You asshole.
We're playing more Spelunky.
Oh, I saw.
Who's farther in Spelunky? Who's got that?
Okay, this is the thing.
I don't want to reveal any spoilers.
Just no.
Oh God.
Okay, just the other day though, we both
Oh,
uploaded the same kind of achievement at the same time. We both got the. You know, there's the one item in the game you have to. Well, there's like kind of different challenges in the game. There's a secret level called the City of Gold. To get there though, you have to collect a few different items. So the first is this. It's the Ujadi, so you have to get this in the mine levels. They're the first 4 levels of the game. In one of them, there's going to be a chest and a golden key, and that's got the Ujadi in it. That's not, like, necessary, but it makes getting to the next stage, like,
100 times easier.
Yeah, like, much, much easier. So you get to that next stage, and you have to buy this thing called the Ankh, which, allows you to later in the game kill yourself on a certain level, and it automatically revives you in the special level where you get this other item called the head jet, and that item, I forget what exactly.
It allows you to see or to enter a secret door in the temple.
Right, yeah. It's part of you have to kill this guy Anubis who has a scepter, so combine the head jet and the scepter. The scepter kind of acts as another key to get to basically the City of Gold at that point.
Correct.
In combination with the head jet. But the head jet apparently has a couple other benefits. I think it makes it so there's like a ghost. If you do a level and it takes you longer than 2 minutes and 30 seconds, this ghost comes, which is like an instant kill if he touches you. And apparently the head jet also acts as like a torch on the dark levels. But
oh, cool.
At that point in the game, you usually don't get dark levels. I've only ever gotten one dark level in the temple, and that was scary as shit.
Oh, that sucks, yeah.
I made it through, barely. But anyways, Ryan and I both got the head jet, but then we both kind of died. And that sucks. But I'm getting pretty close. It's actually the first half of it is easy. Like getting 50, you have to get 50,000 gold to buy the head, what do you call it, the Ankh.
I find it the opposite, man. I think the getting the 50,000 and the Ujadi and then getting the black market is the hard part, and then after that it becomes easy for me.
I don't know. Like I need to strike a balance because usually sometimes I get overzealous with collecting gold too early on, because I find that you know, even if, say, you're going into the jungle with, like, 40,000-ish,
yeah,
pretty easy at that point to find the 10,000, even if it is on the same level and you've got your eye is starting to blink. So, like, again, it's just, you know, the game is based on risk versus reward, right? I mean, a lot of the time it's just like, am I physically capable of doing this? Are my fingers going to work? Am I going to choke? I think it's wonderful. I mean, it's hard though, this City of Gold shit. We're kind of both, I think, at least I am. I don't want to say I'm at a standstill, but it's not like it'll probably be a few episodes before I actually get to the City of Gold, I'm sure. I'm not gonna speak for Ryan. I don't know what he's got going on.
I got some good videos coming up in the next week of Spelunky.
So basically, he probably got to the City of Gold.
He probably took a dump on the City of Gold. Now it's the City of Shit.
Nice. The comments, man, get disheartening. People that don't play Spelunky are like armchair quarterbacking us through Spelunky, and I'm like, man, if you haven't put hand to controller, you don't understand that this game is like 100 times more difficult than it looks.
Very true. Like, And I always thank people that tell me. Some people have legitimately given me some good tips. Like they said recently, I apologize for forgetting who said it, but they're like the what is it, the Moai or Moao? How do you pronounce it?
The head?
Yeah, it's either Moai or Moao.
Yeah, I think it's
Maoi
or something.
Maoi. It's Moai is how it's spelled. Anyways, apparently they said it can't be on the first ice cave and it can't be on the last. It's either on 2 or 3.
Oh, that's useful.
Which helps. Somebody said it's always on the level where there's like a kind of like looks like there's a blizzard going on in the background, but maybe I was just kind of ignorant during that time. But I don't ever recall on my last time playing seeing a blizzard. So maybe that was like a PC version. And that's the other thing that kind of bothers me about comments is like some people are really helpful and try to be helpful, which is awesome, but they're like telling me things from the PC version and they're not the same game. Like when they made this game, it wasn't just an aesthetic update. They were like, which I think is good that they said, okay, let's kind of reevaluate this game, maybe do a little more balancing, change things up or whatever. I think that's good that they did that since they're remaking the entire game. So with that, things change. For instance, people saying like, "Oh, why are you throwing the pots? Just whip them, and it'll kill anything inside them." And I think that was one of the first things I saw was like, I whipped a pot and a spider like came out and jumped on my ass, and I was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm never gonna whip a pot intentionally again." And then like episode 20, somebody's like, "Oh, whip that shit, you idiot." And I'm just like, come on, man. So, I mean, there are a few differences, and you can't, like, if you get this item called the spike shoes, it does a lot of damage to guys when you jump on them, but these piranha plants will just swallow you whole, and they're like, "Dude, just jump on the piranha plants, it'll kill them." And I'm like, no, that's instant death. Come on. So, just again, to remind people, they're not exactly the same, so keep that in mind if you haven't played them.
It's a really roundabout way to say it.
And the last thing, too, is that Ryan kind of already mentioned it. Yeah, the game is hard. Sometimes you intentionally are trying to do something and your fingers just don't work. It's not like, it's a whole theory versus practice kind of thing. It's like going to Universe and learning about, like, anything and then actually going into the real world. It's going to take some time to actually feel comfortable doing it and being able to do it proficiently. Like sometimes like, yeah, I'm gonna whip this asshole, and sometimes it just your fingers you slip up, or I don't know. It's just that's the way it goes. It's a fun game. I sound like I'm angry. I'm not really angry. I love it. Just anyways.
So Spelunky, that's what I've been playing this week.
Yeah, sorry to hijack that.
No, it's no problem.
All right.
Let's quickly do some news with a Z.
Yeah.
Oh,
dudes. Yeah, my favorite.
Another free-to-play game, Command and Conquer. Just went free-to-play today, apparently.
Oh yeah. Wait, the original Command and Conquer?
Let me.
Command and Conquer 2.
Red Alert.
No, just Command and Conquer 2.
No.
Was that Red Alert?
Let me find it. It's not Red Alert, you ding-dongs.
What was Command and Conquer 2? Wasn't that?
I'm gonna pull it.
Thanks, Fox, for bringing up this story.
Yeah, you don't even know what it is.
Sorry, the internet refresh thing. Technology.
Command and Conquer 2 Generals 2. Command and Conquer Generals 2 will be free to play. Generals 2.
Okay.
So it's an upcoming game.
Right. But it's not, the original Command and Conquers. That's what I was getting at.
No.
Okay.
So that's going to be free to play.
Right. That's alright, I guess.
So I know...
wonder if it's going to be... What is the other free-to-play game? There's Civilization? Is that
It's not free to play.
Well, so it's Star Wars...
Maybe not Civ,
The Old Republic or whatever.
Oh, Age of Empires Online is free to play.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, I don't
Those
like that
are both
game.
EA, right? Command and Conquer 2, or Command and Conquer is EA for sure, and I think Age of Empires is EA.
Age of Empires, there's Ensemble Studios or whatever. Maybe they're owned by EA or something?
I think they are.
It used to be by the dudes who made Rise of Nations, which... No.
I know Age of Empires is like Microsoft. Ensemble. I thought that was actually Microsoft bought them, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it is. It's Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that true? Okay.
Age of Empires Online is Microsoft, not EA. Yeah, I didn't like Age of Empires Online either.
No.
It was so weird to me because like when it first starts out, like the tutorials, I probably played about 2 hours of it. You're doing like missions, but then you can choose to play the strategy game like Age of Empires against people online. So I got into that by accident after doing like 10 missions that were like kill 2 dudes, and then it just is just like, hey, have fun, motherfucker. You're playing against this guy who's like ranked 10,000 in the world or something, and I just got my ass kicked and was like, well, I'm never touching this again.
Right, there was just it made no progressive sense to me in the game. And I was like, okay, I like Age of Empires, I like Resonations, and there's like the same shit for free, neat. So I get in and I was like, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. And all I could pick is, the Greeks and maybe the Romans, and I was like, what the hell is everything else? And it's just like, well, if you want to play another people, it's just $5 for everyone.
So the reason I was playing Age of Empires Online is because the community manager from the game contacted me and was like, hey, we know you do these videos. We'll hook you up with some codes for Age of Empires Online if you want to do a video. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So that's a pretty standard arrangement to let the reviewer see more of the content and then tell other people if it's worth buying. So I didn't really understand what the codes were for. I got some codes for like new civilizations, so I could play as like the Babylonians or something. And then the other codes I got were all like $5 DLC packs for like foliage. It was like, do you want to have more glorious gardens as the Romans? Here's a DLC pack for you. Do you want to have the hanging gardens of Babylon? Here's the... I was like, what the... How?
You see, if they did that, and it wasn't like, if you didn't have to buy the different civilizations, and you could buy that foliage shit, that'd be cool. That'd be one thing. But you have to buy the civilizations, which have new units, which could have potentially, better units that can have an advantage on someone who's playing for free. And that's the big thing that I hate about, free to play, because then it's more like you got to buy to win.
Yeah.
Right?
So hopefully C&C Generals 2 is good. I mean, that's really, I guess, all you can say. It's been a long time since I played a game in the Command & Conquer franchise. Last Command & Conquer game I played was actually like a third-person action.
Oh, what was that?
That was a long time ago.
I remember it being on the back of one of my jewel discs.
Yeah.
I want to say it was on Roller Coaster Tycoon. Renegade?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, yeah. I think it used to be on, one of those freaking discs or CDs that I had. It was always Command & Conquer Generals. Someone leave me a comment in the YouTubes about what this actually is, because I know someone out there.
Yeah, that game was weird.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Euro game.
Actually, no, I didn't even play it, so I don't know.
I played a little bit. There was like some vehicles in it.
Okay. Well, there's vehicles in the other games.
Yeah, but you can drive them in this one.
Yeah. I didn't really get too heavy into Command & Conquer. I played Red Alert, Tiberium Sun for a bit as, a kid growing up, but not too heavy. I never really got into the RTS genre too much.
Speaking of cars, and this is kind of like a small story, but I just think it's interesting. This headline here says free to play iPhone game CSR Racing is earning $12 million per month.
Jesus Christ!
And albeit they say it released just at the end of June, so it's been out for like 6 months. So that's kind of like
that is like skewed. Less than 2 months.
Yeah, less than 2 months. But for 4 weeks, the first 4 weeks it earned $12 million because like I guess you can buy in-game like premium cars and shit like that. But I don't know, it just kind of puts into perspective. Like a lot of people think like, how can free to play games make money or even in decent stuff? Well, apparently they make pretty good money. I'm not sure the longevity of this game, but that actually looks like the screen I'm looking at looks like a pretty decent car for an iPhone game.
The thing with microtransactions is that I think a lot of people feel okay about microtransactions supporting free-to-play games as long as the game itself is like inherently good and balanced. So like in a game like TF2, I mean, we've talked about this exhaustively, so we'll keep it short, but cosmetics are fine. People like doing that and supporting the game because they get a free game that is incredibly balanced in its own right, and it doesn't actually alter the gameplay when you buy stuff like that. Same thing, to a certain extent, goes for a game like Tribes Ascend, which maybe as a free-to-play model I don't think is as ideal as Team Fortress 2's, but the gameplay's solid enough that people are happy to support it. Things like Age of Empires Online, people are less happy to to be like, well, okay, the game's free, but what essentially you've done is given us a demo and then made us like buy the full game piecemeal instead of buying it all at once, which is shitty.
Right. And it kind of sucks that that's our point of view, because I understand they're giving us a free game and we want to pay nothing because it's free. But we're also getting a free game, and we don't have to play it more than we do. But the shittiest thing, like you did mention, is that the balance. Exactly. And when the balance isn't there, then the game's just why?
Well, people are not releasing like free to play single player games unless they're releasing them freeware like forever. Like I can't think of a single player game that there are microtransactions for that are meaningful, unless maybe things like costumes or something you can buy in a fighting game, but I mean those games are not free to play.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe like all the Microsoft transactions for your avatar.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. Is like that kind of extends your enjoyment. I don't know, maybe enjoyment of the game, the franchise, or whatever. Is like, buy a theme for your Xbox dashboard or something like that for $1 or $5, whatever it may be.
Right. I think Jerry from Penny Arcade mentioned, or Tycho, or whatever his real name is, he mentioned that he buys that kind of shit just so like it's out of support.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need that kind of stuff, but one, you like it, and two, you want to help support the thing that you enjoy, so that's why you kind of put money to it. So I mean, I've bought stupid things for my avatar, I think, too, so I can't say anything bad about it, and that it's something that I felt that I wanted, and it's nothing that goes against anyone else. The only thing that gets anything out of it is me.
Exactly.
So I'm cool with it.
I think that's true. And speaking of Penny Arcade, you guys here with apparently 6 minutes to spare, they reached their $525,000 Kickstarter goal. So no ads on.
That's no ads on the front page
for just 1 year.
Yes.
Right.
Which I actually
that wasn't like their super goal to achieve.
No, they had like up to 3 million or something.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it reached. Wait, what did it say? In regards to 6-page comic strip that was promised if the campaign reached 550,000. What?
They do have really good side comics like Automata and I forget the other one off the top of my head, but it's like the little kids and like they're kind of like scouts or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I have always been a big fan of Penny Arcade, so I mean I appreciate everything that those guys do. I don't think the Kickstarter is made for what they've did,
no.
And we kind of talked about that in a previous podcast, so you guys can listen to that or try to remember it. But whatever. If it was successful, then it was successful, and maybe I just have a really misconstrued idea of what Kickstarter should be about.
No, I generally do agree with you still, and I think, I mean, obviously they wouldn't have gotten as much exposure for that sort of thing, and they probably wouldn't have met their goal if they tried to do it by their own means, but at the same time, it does help put into perspective, like, I don't know how much of that is just straight up profit or whatever, like, how the cost breaks down, but, I mean, they are a larger site. I mean, they host conventions and shit like that. I mean, they have all that stuff to do, so it's just, like, shows people, like, how much it actually costs just for hosting costs and all that sort of stuff to run a large-scale website. I mean, it's not just something you can do in your spare time.
All right, when you go to PAX,
yes.
Go to one of their Q&As, and I'm going to give you a question to ask them. Just ask them, what they think about their feelings, with Kickstarter's guidelines and then what they did.
I will legitimately ask that question if I am given the opportunity, because I would like to ask that as well. Like,
dude, their Q&A sessions are freaking awesome, but you got to make sure you get into like microphone line like as soon as you get in there.
Oh, I will. All
right.
The weird thing is, like, since we talked about this, I guess it was a month ago now, when the Kickstarter started, we talked about this. I've seen on Indiegogo, which is kind of like the smaller version of Kickstarter, with say the same like crowdsourced funding stuff. I've seen like YouTube Let's Players start putting up Indiegogo requests that are like, okay, I really want to do this like full time for a year. You guys should give me like $8,000.
I don't like
That's
that.
It?
And
how do you live off vape?
Well, it's usually like, okay, we're going to spend like $3,000 or $2,000 on a new computer. I'm going to buy an HD PVR. I'm going to buy like all these consoles, and the rest is going to go to games. So it's not actually like they're asking for it for their job, like or for their living expenses. They're asking for it so they can like upgrade their equipment, which I guess is something. But at the same time, it's like you're just begging for money, like
yeah.
At least the penny arcade
they're
thing
not kidding.
It's trading you something in response. It's like, okay, you what effectively has happened is you have paid for us to work on the site for a year, so in return we're going to remove all the ads from the homepage. Whereas this, I
guess you could make the argument that you're paying them in advance for their content that they'll be putting out, but I mean, what the hell can What can you weigh that against? I mean, I can give this guy $50, but what the hell am I going to see in return if that's anything?
Right, like what kind of backing support can
exactly,
you get?
Yeah. There's no trust. I mean, but yeah, I can't say anything because the dudes are making money and they achieve their goals. Then F it, Again, if people are out there that are willing to pay these people, then I guess just let them have that.
I'm conflicted with it because I like Penny Arcade. I think what they do is awesome, and I understand websites cost money and shit like that. That makes sense. My only real bugaboo about the whole thing is that Kickstarter, for me at least when I first heard about it, is like, oh, this is a great way for people to get exposure and get financing. It's not like you're friggin' Facebook and the social network where you already have like millions and millions of subscriber people on your site and you need that extra bit of financing to pay for servers and shit. This is like, I thought it was just for like the little guy, I've got a
new ideas.
Really good idea. I can show you a couple prototypes that I actually know how to do it. But it just comes down to cost, or buying servers for this MMO or whatever it may be is like, technically you can do it, but you need the money to be able to do it. I mean, that's the limiting factors. So, that's my only thing with Penny Arcade. Again, it's a very tricky situation, but whatever. I think overall, I mean, it will be a better user experience. I've never really been against advertisements. Almost like kind of my subconscious brain puts that to the side, and I know where your eyes kind of know where to look for the actual content and stuff. So never been an issue with me per se. In an ideal world, I don't like looking at advertisements, but I think people in this day and age for the most part kind of understand that now. So
I think when I was 12, I was like, ad block. Yeah, man, fuck ads. Why should I have to look at ads? Yeah. But then when I got older, I was like, you know what? If I enjoy this content, I should watch the ads, and I'm not actively paying for the content, so I'll support the content creator any way I can. And then now that, I don't know, I have like an income coming in, I'm like, I don't want to see ads. If there's any way for me to subscribe to the content that I enjoy in some monetary way that will prevent me from seeing ads, I'm cool with that. Like stuff for Giant Bomb, I pay for a membership there so I don't have to see any ads. And
I don't even see the ads anymore. All I see is Northern Lion, Michael Fox,
There's our second Matrix reference. I don't really have a problem with this Penny Arcade stuff. I do have a problem with because what's going to happen with those YouTube Let's Players on Indiegogo is they're going to get this money, they're going to get this equipment, eventually they're going to get partnerships, and they're just going to put ads on their videos anyway. So I think that's one of the reasons that I don't solicit donations from my viewers is I do okay for myself without the donations, and the people, this sounds cocky, but I really mean it. It's the people donating the money could probably put the money to better use than me, who has no expenses right now.
Buy one of the games that you
exactly
support the developer.
Spend that money to support the developers. And secondly, if I was taking donations, I wouldn't feel right about putting ads on the videos. If there was some way where I could make it so if you donated to me, you didn't get ads. If you paid me $10, you got a year without ads. I would love to be able to do that. I can't do that. I don't have the power to make that happen. If I could, I would, but...
The thing, too, about donations is that they're even more sporadic than revenue from ads. Theoretically, all 80,000 of your subscribers at this point in time could just be fuck Northern Lion up the ass, and they all just unsubscribe, and you don't make a dime, right? Because if you're not getting views, you're not getting paid, right?
Right.
But I mean, for the most part, I mean, you're getting consistent views. You put up a video, you get good views, and that brings in money, right? Donations is kind of like the realm where it's like a lot of people kind of just donate one time, and that's.
It depends, and if it's like a subscription.
I guess, yeah. So if it's something where you pay maybe an annual fee of $20 to Whiskey Media or Giant Bomb or whatever it is, and it kind of renews. Then that's good. That's more reliable because, I mean, you've got auto-renew shit and reminders and all that kind of stuff. Whereas donations, though, again, I think it's even more sporadic than something like revenue from ads. Personally, I mean, my own logic would think that. Just because, you know, some people think like, oh, yeah, I donated $10 last year. Like, that's, in the grand scheme of things, that's probably a ton. But maybe, I don't, you know, I'm not going to break it down. But I just think, like, too, is I wouldn't feel so comfortable relying solely on donations.
And that's another thing about the Penny Arcade Kickstarter. Like, I don't know how much money those dudes are making yearly off of homepage ads, if it's equivalent to $525,000, if that's more or less than what they would actually make normally. But I'm sure that, you know, and I can relate as someone who makes their money from basically advertising on the internet, that they are probably thrilled to have, like, a consistent, guaranteed sum of money, as opposed to something that could vary, you know, like 50% from month to month or year to year.
Where do you guys stand on gaming-related courses? I think we sort of talked about that already in this episode.
I haven't taken one. I don't really know anyone who has, but if they work, then yeah, good for them, I suppose.
Cool beans. I've seen some good games come out of DigiPen. I don't know anything beyond that.
Right.
Likewise, I mean, I think if you're passionate about making video games and all that stuff, you're a creative person, go for it. You know, there are a few schools that even specialize in game design and all that stuff, so really it's going to come down, and that's the way with the university in general. It's like a lot of the stuff you can learn on your own if you're really tenacious about it, but sometimes going to college or university, it just helps give you a little kind of, I guess, guidance and like, read this book, read that book, these are probably the best, or, you know, just a better place to ask questions. And so I think it's a positive thing in general, so long as they're not just shitty courses. Make sure that they're legit. Cool. What does it feel like being the sexiest trio in existence? Damn good.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I'm a fan of that. That is a hard question to answer, so I won't bring it up. What are your thoughts on the future of browser games? Are there any browser games that you like? I've mentioned it way back. I think Tribal Hero, yeah, .com is a browser game. It's like a really slow RTS. It's free. I was playing it for a while. I haven't played it in a little while, but good. I think browser games are cool because sometimes they allow you to game while you're at work at your desk job.
Nice. Sticking it to the man.
Yeah, stick it to the man.
My favorite
like getting paid for pooping
game is gmail.com.
Yeah,
that's good.
Definitely. We're all on part of this email train we've had going on for several years, it seems.
Yep.
And every day, it's like us and like our personal friends.
Jeff
we
Osborne.
just kind of like bullshit about Jeff Osborne.
Osborne.
Dude, he's coming home soon. Can't wait.
Yeah, we're gonna crash his housewarming party.
It's a barbecue without a barbecue.
Oh, we're having a barbecue.
They're gonna have a little.
We're gonna have to buy a barbecue, I guess.
Not a Hitachi. What do you call it?
Hibachi.
Hibachi. Yeah, those things are nice. Portable. Yeah. Another question quickly is kind of hard to answer, but what is your dream career? Any aspiring game developers? Dream career? No real friggin' idea. I think for me personally, it'd be cool if I could do game-related stuff in general. I'm a creative person. I like being a little hands-on and kind of being in charge of my own destiny.
You're a little hands-in.
Hands in, you gotta get the two in the pink, one in the stink.
Come hither motion.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it works, man. The G spot, you gotta come hither. Put your hand on top, right below your belly button. It gives you a little extra pressure, and then you come hither. Makes them go wild every time. And then with your foot, you can tickle the back of their knee if you're really, really good.
You gotta get the back.
I mean, that's just life 101, right?
Pretty much. I've known that since grade 3.
Back of the knee is like adding step 3, don't forget to breathe or something.
Like, I legitimately, in public school, well, Ryan will remember. You remember Megan Coots, right?
Yeah. She got pregnant in ninth grade.
Yeah, in grade 6, like, she wanted to go with me, and
nice.
I was like, all right, whatever. I eventually broke up with her. That was bad, but anyways, she had this thing where, you touch the knee, and she go wild, man. She go wild. Good times. And then she got pregnant 3 years later. I got her pregnant.
Back of the knee.
I didn't get her pregnant. But she really took a turn for the worse. I'm sorry. It's too bad. Rest in peace.
She's still alive.
How do you guys...
I think.
Yeah, she's still alive. I'm sure she's probably doing well. I don't know. To each their own. How do you guys meet? We've already talked about that.
Let's move on to some group questions.
Okay, wait. Last
well,
question.
Oh my god.
This is a good one though. I think
this is a question. You're like the.
If you could live in a video game for the rest of your life, which would you pick?
I don't. Super Meat Boy.
That's stupid. You're gonna get your head cut off.
Yeah, then I'm gonna come back and beat the hell out of you.
The end. Super Meat Boy.
Fuck you guys.
Oh man. Okay. Group question.
For a couple.
I'd be in the video.
Okay, so yeah, in between, the group has been crazy tonight. All they talk about is space sticks.
Oh, come on.
So between them discussing the space stick
don't go to it.
Don't ever.
Don't
like, even if you're like, oh, nothing phases me. Like, who are you trying to prove that to? Yourself? It just doesn't make you a better person. It just makes you...
Okay. And, and a bunch of, since the TF2 thing came out for a bunch of people, they went to go play that as well. So this one was actually from last week that I remembered because I liked it a lot. Do we have any rituals before recording? Like our Let's Plays or anything? Is there anything that we do?
Testing a little bit, make sure every time your mic, you do a little bit of testing personally. Sometimes I depending on the game, I might do a couple practice runs, just almost like, I've commented on it before, it's almost like stretching or whatever, right? You don't go to the Olympics and just start your fucking 100-meter sprint. You stretch your legs, you do a couple warm-up little runs or whatever. So you just maybe do, depending on the game. Again, you like Spelunky, usually I'll do at least 1 or 2 practice runs to make sure my fingers... Because in the game, you got to know the weight and the arc of the rocks when you're throwing that shit. Just maybe I get a little too much into it, but I don't know. You got to get your glass of water. That's a thing.
That's
people,
my ritual.
Because when you're doing commentary, right? Sometimes maybe you're having a coughing fit or something, or if you're doing it for an hour straight of talking, you get thirsty.
And it's really hot.
Sometimes
in Canada.
Yeah. You laugh, man. It's been hot here.
I live in the south of the United States.
Oh, big man.
Probably gets a little hotter.
I would
be hot in more than one place at once.
Yeah, not as hot.
It's hotter there. It's hot here, too.
I would to find some study as to which country...
I'm going to define my fist.
No, which country or region or whatever has the most extreme temperature shift. Because in Canada, shit can get minus 40 below, can get plus 40 above.
Crazy
an
too.
80-degree shift. Celsius, I should say, not Fahrenheit, obviously I'm talking about. So, I mean, I'm sure there are places more extreme than that. But Canada, people are like, oh, yeah, it's always snowing there, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I mean, yeah, make fun of us for snow. But there are some places in the States that get just as much and more snow than we do. But
Next question.
Get hot.
Do you have a favorite sandwich?
Fucking the ones I make, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen to one of my recent
I like
Mafia LPs. I was just talking about food the whole time. It was good.
You know what I mean, my standard sandwich would be like turkey plus Swiss and maybe like some Dijon mustard, maybe a little onion, a little pickle. But
Pickle's good.
if I like, there was this really good deli by where I used to work that had like thick salami sandwiches you could get. I was like that plus olives and pickles and everything salty you could possibly get. It was like that was my ideal sandwich.
That's why I get, when I go to Subway a lot of time, double meat spicy Italian. I'm waiting for it.
I love like a mom and pop's like Italian restaurant, and then I'll just get like one of their massive Italian hoagies. I used to go to this place. It's kind of like a chain, but it's called the Bellas up in Pittsburgh. I'm not sure if it's many places, but I haven't seen any down here in North Carolina. But it's so good, like huge, just mounds of meat and like cheese, and just on a huge ass nice bread that they bake at the their little thing.
That's what
restaurant.
I was gonna say. That like people underestimate the power of bread. Bread can make or break a sandwich. Like seriously,
it can hold the sandwich.
It can hold the sandwich. It makes it nice, but you got good bread. That's a great start. That's the foundation.
Yeah.
So cool. Next question.
I think that's
it. Praise the Lord.
I know.
All right, so let's quickly do our social media sign-offs. Josh Smith, where can we find you on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook?
My Facebook's private. Don't.
All right, don't. He doesn't even have one. Don't look.
I don't have one. I'm not cool enough to have a public one. Twitter is jsmith_OTI, and on YouTube it's jsmithOTI no underscore. And hang out, come comment, leave me feedback, and say.
By the way, that's spelled out like the word underscore. It's not an actual underscore. And same for the no underscore. It's spelled out.
It's
I'm just trying to throw people off.
And Michael L. Fox, where can we find your stuff?
YouTube is youtube.com/Michael MICHAEL ALFOX. I still apparently Michael, one of the most common names in the whole goddamn world.
Oh really? That's a common.
It actually is.
You ever heard my name?
No.
Try to look it up on Google one time. You're not gonna find it.
Okay. I'm not
gonna
do that.
Challenge.
Anyways, YouTube, my Twitter, again, twitter.com/Michael A.L. Fox. Facebook, sorry. Yeah, not gonna. Maybe I'll do. I think I've got like a fan page somewhere I made up a billion years ago. Maybe I'll start linking to that. But not the personal stuff.
And for Saving Progress stuff, there's always the forums. Come and check it out and hang out. Forums.com/savingprogress.
Yep. Again, lot of development and shit, but...
Forums.savingprogress.com. Sorry. Forums.com/savingprogress.
It'll work, I'm sure. Google will figure it out for you. Don't worry.
And, Twitter.com/savingprogress and Facebook.com/savingprogress. It's been a long episode.
It might be the longest.
It's been, yes.
2 hours 40 or...
loves questions. And news.
So, as always, thank you guys for joining me.
I love you both so very much.
Yeah, me too, I guess.
And we'll all see you guys next time. Wait, yes. We are doing one next week. We're not doing one the week after.
Are we? I am.
You can do your own
Yeah,
thing.
he's going to impersonate both of us, remember? Bye, I love you guys.
No line. See ya.